Jesus is, oh man, this is a nightmare, you lot. You're supposed to be better than that. You're spiritually blind. You are the blind leading the blind, just groping around. And so he felt really sorry for them. Deep anguish for the Pharisees. Why did he feel such anguish? I think it's because leaders of the faith will get a double whammy.
Right.
James talks about this, saying not many of you should be teachers because you'll get a double judgment. You'll get a much more severe judgment on you for being a teacher of the faith. And I think that Jesus, with his prescient view of the world, was looking at these guys thinking, you've got no idea what you are about to let yourself in for by being so emotionally squashed, by refusing to develop your thinking, and you are heading down a very dark road. He was incredibly gracious towards them, I think.
Because then what happens, he says unto the man with the withered hand, stretch forth thine hand. And he stretched it out, and his hand was restored whole as the other. Instant, by word, not asking about faith. Just did it.
Yeah.
That would have caused a few ripples.
Wouldn't it just? He didn't say, I heal your hand. He just said, stretch your hand out. He just had to obey. All he had to do was follow the command of Jesus. That was it. He says, you do it, job done.
Directly afterwards, we know in verse 6, the Pharisees went forth and straightway took counsel with the Herodians against him, that is Jesus, how they might destroy him. Now, I'm focusing on the people in the synagogue, the ones who weren't with the Pharisees. I think by this stage, if it hadn't already sunk in, because some people may have been there for the first time, that there's now incontrovertible proof of this guy, Jesus, that even if they've heard rumour or they've heard about him, if they were there, it's like, ooh, judging by the fact that the Pharisees would have scarpered off, the die's been cast.
Yeah, you're going to have people who would have been looking at this and listening in on these comments. So this conversation was not taking place in a vacuum. It's right in the middle of the synagogue. You had to have a minyan, minimum of 10 people in there. Probably this was the synagogue in Capernaum, so it would have been a relatively well-attended synagogue from that area. And you've got them all watching this going on. It's almost like if you were filming this, you'd have like a bit of a buzz going through the crowd. You'd see Jesus rock up there. You'd see the Pharisees and legal experts and all the other folk hanging around the corners. You'd see the man with a withered hand curled up in the corner or sat out the way in the shadows. And we know what's going to happen here. They're going to stitch him up. And Jesus calls the dude out into the centre, sticks him under the spotlight. Everything hushes. It all goes quiet. And Jesus sort of starts to set the scene, set the pace, set the narrative. And then before Jesus calls this man to put his hand forth, you've probably got people thinking, oh, I wonder how he's going to do it. I wonder what he's going to do. I wonder what's going to happen. I wonder how it's going to work. And sure enough, he doesn't do anything. He just says, stick your hand out. There's no work. So there's no breaking of the Mosaic law.
Yes.
He just speaks. There is absolutely no labour